if you have an abundance of tomatoes from your garden, then you are not going to want to miss this video. Hey friends, it's Kelly and welcome back to Mama Needs a Goal. Thank you so much for joining me today, and if you're new here, welcome, welcome. So friends, today I am making sun-dried tomatoes. I have a lot of tomatoes from my garden. The original plan is that I was going to make sun-dried tomatoes in oil. And I went to the grocery store and they were just so expensive. I needed a jar for a recipe and I'm like, this is crazy. I plant tomatoes every year, so I'm gonna make my own. Well, what I found out after much research, they don't last on the shelf like in the stores where you go in the store and you buy them, because they're manufactured differently and you really can't do that at home. Though there are some people that do it, and from what I understand, that is very risky and you can become extremely ill if it goes wrong. I'm not willing to risk that. So you can make sun-dried tomatoes in oil and they'll last about 4 to 7 days in the fridge, but that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted it for the shelf. So what I've come up with is I am going to dehydrate my Roma tomatoes and seal them in an airtight container or not Ziploc bag, my food saver. So then I can go ahead and store them on the shelf. And then when I plan my meals, and y'all know I am a meal planner, I plan for the month. So I will have a recipe that will need sun-dried tomatoes, say, you know, on the 30th or something like that. What I will do is a few days beforehand, I will get out the sun-dried tomatoes. And I think you can just put them in the microwave. I got to confirm that to puff them up. I will actually do a video when I make the sun-dried tomatoes in olive oil, so you will know how to do it. But I think you can put them in the microwave just for a few seconds, and then I can go ahead and make it, and then I can have it for a couple days and then use it in that recipe. So that is what my plan is, and I know that's a long explanation, but I think this is the best plan because I can also use these. My son really likes bacon, egg, and avocado sandwiches, and you can use the sun-dried tomatoes on that because every now and then we'll add some tomato on there. So these are going to come in handy not only just for the sun-dried tomatoes and olive oil, but other recipes. I also want to make a pesto with them, so there's going to be a lot of tomato recipes coming out. But I have talked way too long, so let me turn the camera down, quickly go over all the ingredients, and then we'll go ahead and get started. So here is the ingredients I'll be using. I have some garlic. I use granulated garlic. You can use garlic powder if you'd like. I'm not quite sure if regular garlic, like minced garlic, would work. I think it might burn, so I'm just going with the granulated garlic. Black pepper, olive oil, some basil, oregano, salt, my dehydrator, and of course my tomatoes from my garden. So that's all the ingredients I will be using. So that's it, my friends. That's all the ingredients that I'll be using for this recipe. The one thing I do want to say is that after a lot of research, because I've been doing a lot, when you slice up your tomatoes, you want to make sure that there's absolutely no bad spots on them. If you have a bad spot on those tomatoes, the chances of them getting black and mold is very high when you dehydrate them, and it will not just ruin that tomato, it will circulate in the dehydrator and it will ruin the entire batch. So please make sure that there is zero bad spots on your tomatoes. You can cut them out, but just make sure you get it all. Also, the ingredients that I'm using, I am going to go a little bit light on it. I would have loved to put some Parmesan cheese on it. My ring light just went out. Some Parmesan cheese on it, or some fresh garlic, minced garlic, but unfortunately I think they will burn very badly, so I'm not going to do that. So let me turn the camera down. I've already washed the tomatoes. I have a huge batch here. I'm only doing half of the batch that I have because I don't know how many is gonna fit on the dehydrator trays. And if I have more room, I'll wash up the other ones, but I'll put in the description box how many tomatoes I ended up using so that way you'll know. But I don't wanna wash them up and cut them up if I don't have room for them. So let me stop talking and let's get started. All right, my friends, so I have my tomatoes here that are washed. I have 12 of them to start with. So we're gonna go ahead and slice our tomatoes. I'm gonna slice them thin. Oops, that was a little too thin. All right, and I have a bowl right here that I'll be putting them in. So, oops. So this is about the thickness here. We're gonna go ahead and throw these in the bowl. Did not go all the way through with them. Yeah, Cal, gotta go through. All right. Oh, my belly's growling. All right. All right, my friends, so I have all my tomatoes cut up. I have my first tray right here. We're gonna start with 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Okay. And then we're going to add in 2 tablespoons of oregano. 2 of, oh, did you see that? The basil. Okay. And then we're gonna add in just 1 of the garlic. I like pepper, so I'm doing 1 pepper. Some of you may want to do a half. And then the last one is a tablespoon of salt. Okay. And we're gonna go ahead, let me just clean this up a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and mix it all up. And then, all right, my friends, we're gonna go ahead and mix this up really well. It's smelling good. Could eat these just like this, honestly. It does smell good. Ooh. Yum. I think I got to sneeze. Excuse me. Goodness. I felt that one coming. That pepper. All right. We are mixed up really well. So I have my first tray here on the bottom of my dehydrator. We're just going to lay these out. We want to make sure they do not overlap at all. Okay. I like to put, that one's a little thick. I like to put my larger ones on the outside and then my smaller ones on the inside. Hoping I can get more on here than what I have here. That'd be nice to get these all done at one time. All right, my friends, so I ended up going back and I washed 8 tomatoes, sliced them up, and as you can see, I could have probably done 1 more, probably 9, but all my trays are filled now. So let's go ahead, put the lid on, face it towards you. I have it set. Mine goes from 135 to 145. I'm putting it on 140. We're going to let this go for 6 hours, and then I'm going to check on it, and hopefully at that 6 hour mark it will be done. If not, we'll let it go a little bit longer. Oh. All right, there it is. Oh, put the heater down, and we're good, friends. We'll check back in 6 hours. All right, my friends, it has been 6 hours, so we want to do a quick little check and see how we're doing. Oh, well, still. I think I'm gonna let it go for a tad bit longer. Wait a minute. A tad bit. So I think I'm gonna let it go for about a half an hour more, and then we'll check it again. All right, my friends, went a little bit longer. These have been in almost a total of 7 hours, so they should definitely be done. Oh yeah, perfect. Let me unplug this. All right. Ooh, oh yeah. I wish you guys could smell these. Oh my goodness. Oh, these are perfect. Perfect, perfect. See? Yep. They do shrink though, don't they? All right, so I'm gonna let these cool now, and then I'll get my food saver out, but I kind of want to do a little bit of a taste test to see what they taste like, because I'm telling you, friends, oh, they smell so good. Alrighty, let's taste one of these. This is what they look like. Oh, they smell so good. Mmm. Oh my goodness. Remember I said like a lot of pepper? The kick. Oh my gosh. That pepper, wow. It is so good. So good. Oh my goodness. These are gonna be so good like on an avocado, toast and avocado, bacon and egg sandwich. I cannot wait to turn these into, oh my gosh. My brain's going like all the things these are gonna be so good for. Just eating them like this, friends. Oh my gosh. I will type up the recipe in the description box for you all. If you don't like a lot of pepper, you definitely are going to want to cut that pepper in half, but I really like the kick that the pepper is giving this. Oh my gosh, it's so, so good. All right, I'm going to let these all cool, and I think we're going to have dinner, and then I'll come back after dinner. They should be cool, and then I'll go ahead and show you how I'm going to use them in my, or how I'm going to use my food saver to store these so I can keep them fresh for when I need them. All right, my friends, so I just finished dinner, so these had plenty of time to cool down, and I went ahead and picked them off the tray and loosened them all up. I was able to get 3 cups of these, so I'm gonna bag them up, a cup a bag. And I do want to say that if you do slice them a little thin, they will end up sticking and they're hard to get off. You don't want them too thick, but you don't want them too thin. I had about 4 tomatoes that I did slice a little bit on the thicker side, and they weren't completely dry. They still were a little bit moist, and you don't want to seal them up in the bag moist like that. So of course I just went ahead and ate them. I did give hubby one for him to try. I didn't think he'd like it, but he did. He said they were really, really good. He did tell me I need to cut back a little bit on the pepper because they had a lot of pepper, which I like, but that's not something everybody's gonna like. So I'm gonna adjust that in the ingredients when I type it all out for you. So let me turn the camera down and I'll show you how I'm going to seal these. All right, my friends, so I have this food saver. I've had this, oh my gosh, how long we've had this food saver, hun? Like 20 years maybe? Probably. It's vacuum sealed 1075. I'm kind of curious. I have tons of these bags. I don't really use this that often anymore. I used to years and years ago. And I just have some bags here that I already had in the pantry already, where I had cut a bigger bag and then cut it down. So I'm going to use these. Now, if you're going to do a ton of this, I would recommend using the jars and seal them tight in the jars and store them, just because it does end up costing money using these. The jars you can use over and over again. And I guess, all right, my friends, so I have a bag here. Let me go ahead and put in a cup of my sun-dried tomatoes, or dehydrated tomatoes, I guess. Okay, you want to make sure you got plenty of room at the top. Lift up, tilt that in. Alrighty, so there we have a nice sealed little package. So let me go ahead and seal up the other two, and then I'll show. Alright, my friends, I am all done. So I have my 3 bags here. I did have to switch to a little bit bigger bags. I just cut off and made them that size, because the other 2 that I had, they just weren't going over into the little swale thingy that sucks the air out. So I had to get some bigger ones, but this is what they look like. And I'll take a picture and give you a kind of close up. So I now have 3 cups of sun-dried tomatoes. I am so excited, and they are absolutely delicious. I cannot wait to try different recipes. And when I do try those recipes, I will make sure I film them for you guys. I do know for sure I'm gonna make a pesto out of these. So anyway, friends, thank you so much for joining me. I really do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget, hit that little subscribe button, as it does greatly help me out. Also, please check me out over on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, and TikTok, as I am active on all those social media sites as well. So friends, thanks so much, and I'll catch up with you next time. Bye.